Recently, the developers put out a message to all players saying that they're going to be taking action in response to inappropriate conduct, and this will include bans. So what are they referring to? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about three things. Firstly, what it is that the developers are referring to and why they sent out this message. Also, if this has any connection to people who have been wonder picking from God packs, and if those people should be concerned. And lastly, I just want to clear up some of the details regarding my Discord server and how it works. So let's get into it. So firstly, let's start with the message. It's titled Taking Action in Response to Inappropriate Conduct, and it says, thanks for playing PTCGP. We are aware that some players have engaged in data tampering, real money trading, and other behaviors that violate the terms of use. If we confirm a player has engaged in behavior that violates the TOS, we'll warn them, suspend their account, or take other action. And then they just show people how to check out the terms of service. So, why did they send this out? Well, a lot of people immediately assumed that this had to do with people who have been using the Wonder Pick system to Wonder Pick from God packs. Now, I am not a developer, but I'm going to say that I think it's actually highly, highly unlikely that that's what they're referring to. And I say this because we recently uncovered, and by recently I mean literally last night, uncovered something much, much more problematic for the game that perfectly matches the description of what the developers are addressing. Now, I'm going to be making a lot of claims in this video, and I'll simply say this. Aside from knowing for sure exactly what the devs are planning to do, all the claims I'm going to make in this video I have personally verified and can assure you are the case. And while I do have proof, as it pertains to the stuff that I'm about to talk about right now, I'm not going to be showing that proof, mainly because I'm not trying to start up another feud with another group of people. So I am aware of who is responsible for this warning going out, and I'm fully aware of what it is they're doing, and I'm going to be explaining what they're doing. But I don't want to show any of the screenshots or videos or anything like that because I don't want to be shining a spotlight on them because I'm not trying to make enemies. If you guys weren't already aware, my channel is currently very much under a significant cyber attack. People are mass reporting my YouTube channel. They've been attacking our Discord server with bots and all sorts of stuff. And actually, my next video was supposed to be talking about that, but then this message went out and a lot of people were really concerned. So I figured I got to tackle this right away. So that's what we're talking about here. But yeah, just again, I'm not going to be showing much, if any, proof of the stuff that I'm about to be talking about, but I promise you, I've looked into it myself. It is absolutely the case. Please don't ping me asking because you want to partake in it. It's definitely not anything that I encourage. It's not something we endorse or support. But like I said, I'm not actually trying to interfere with their business or what they're doing. I don't want any trouble with the group that's operating this. I just want to make sure people understand why the message went out in the first place. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, the short version is, for sure, there is a group of either Chinese or Taiwanese, I can't be sure, but a group of Chinese or Taiwanese players who are using a significantly hacked or modded version of the app. And it does many things, but one of the things that it does is it immediately awards you all of the items for all of the missions. It just immediately treats all missions, including secret missions, as fully completed, which means as soon as you start the game, you immediately have Immersive Mew, you immediately have like 800 Wonder Pick hourglasses and 800 plus pack hourglasses. You get all of these things, and also they let you select which cards you want preloaded on the account, and there's no limit to it. You can say, I want to start with one of each crown card, and I want one of each immersive card, and they sell starter accounts that include all of these things. And they're able to provide this because, as I mentioned, they're using a hacked version of the game, but it does connect to the live server, so those players can then go ahead and join battles and stuff. Now, the fact that we just found out about this last night means it's not all that widespread. I'm guessing most of you have not heard about this, which is why it was able to stay under the radar for a while, but it seems to have gotten enough exposure that now the devs are aware of it. So I'm pretty confident in saying that this is what the devs are referring to, because they're talking about specifically data tampering, which, I mean, just straight up granting an account items and achievements that it shouldn't have is absolutely data tampering. And they also refer to real money trades. And these starter accounts that this group is creating, they are selling explicitly. They have a whole business for it. They have a website, which is their shop for it. And so obviously they are also engaging in real money trading. So they're hacking the game and then selling those benefits. So while we're going to talk in just a minute about how the devs likely view wonder picking from god packs in the scheme of things that are a huge threat to the entire ecosystem of the game, what this other group is doing is much, much more egregious and seems to be exactly what the devs are talking about. And I can't imagine any dev team for any game being aware of that sort of behavior going on that they wouldn't want to address immediately. So as for why that warning went out, it did go out to everyone. So if you got it, don't freak out. It wasn't specifically aimed at you. And unless you bought one of these fully loaded, rigged starter accounts from this group, or maybe there's a couple groups doing it. We didn't confirm how many different groups are doing it, just that it's happening. I wouldn't be worried otherwise. This seems to be the focus behind that messaging that went out. Now, as for people who have been wonder picking from god packs, what does this mean for them? So again, let me start by saying I am not a developer, so I cannot absolutely guarantee you guys that everything is completely safe and they have no plans on pursuing this, but at least to me, it seems very obvious that they are not actually concerned with this behavior. Now, as for what does and doesn't violate the terms of service, they have a clause in their terms of service that essentially says they can ban for any conduct that they deem inappropriate. So they have free reign to ban you at any time for any reason if they deem it inappropriate. As for whether they consider this behavior inappropriate, I don't actually think so, and I'll talk about why in just a sec, but I do want to essentially clarify that the much more serious violations of the terms of service would be the people who are re-rolling, as they are the ones who are essentially generating a lot of accounts and trying to get around the system. Whereas using the in-game mechanic of simply adding a friend and then wonder picking from the friend that you added is technically a fully legal use of the in-game systems, and you're using them exactly as intended. Obviously, you're using them a bit more cleverly than the devs originally intended, but it's still just the in-game systems functioning like they're supposed to. So, if you have been re-rolling accounts to generate god packs, that's probably one step higher in terms of are you at any risk, but again, I still wouldn't really be concerned. Firstly, because they've basically said if we detect that an account is misbehaving, we will ban it. Well, most re-rolled accounts only stay alive for 3 or 4 days until the god pack expires, and then they're abandoned anyway. So if a re-rolled account gets banned, most re-rollers don't really care. So I wouldn't really worry about that too much. But of course, the vast majority of people watching this video are just people who have been playing normally. Another reason I wouldn't really worry too much is because a conservative estimate for how many players have been engaging in this sort of thing, it appears from what I can gauge, I feel comfortable saying at least 200,000 players are participating in this. It may be more, but going just off the numbers for players who are on some of the Asian Discord servers for doing this sort of thing, and how many people watched my video, and assuming that a majority of them participate, looking at other large servers like the Bropening server, the subreddit server, a low safe estimate is that at least 200,000 players have been participating in this. And while it wouldn't be impossible for all of those players to be banned, I highly doubt it. If anything, they might get a warning. But again, this doesn't actually seem to be upsetting the developers all that much, and I have a pretty valid theory as to why. So, if your goal was to collect all of the 2-star cards in the game, you would have to open a lot of packs. I haven't done the full math, but it's a safe estimate to say that it would probably cost you many thousands of dollars. It might even go as high as $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 to collect all the 2-star cards, which the vast majority of players are, of course, not willing to do. And for most players, it's not all that exciting to just get 3 or 4 2-star cards for $1,000, something like that. So they're not going to pour that kind of money into chasing these things. They're just going to accept, maybe I'll get lucky and get one, maybe not. However, the wonder picking from god packs has made the odds much more favorable and allowed players who normally were content to just not spend and open packs to constantly be refreshing their wonder pick stamina. So they've been spending more than they normally would because they feel like they're actually getting a good rate of return on their Poké Gold. So again, this is anecdotal, but I've spoken to a lot of players who've said, I wouldn't have been spending on this game, but ever since I found out about wonder picking from God Packs, I have definitely been spending. I think I've spent $100 in Poké Gold just because I keep getting really good odds at getting a good card, so of course I'm going to keep trying. So I suspect that this wonder picking from God Packs has actually led to a significant revenue boost for the game. Now, I can't speak to whether the developers are swayed by that in any way, but most video game developers, if they notice a significant increase in spending and nothing that's happening is outright breaking the game or making it unfair for other people to be able to play, generally, developers tend to go, oh, our money printing machine seems to have overclocked itself. Don't touch it. So I'm assuming that that would be their approach to this sort of thing. I don't have the data, but I mean, I'm sure some of you guys will leave comments and be able to back me up on this and say, I bet a good amount of you would not have been spending to try to chase 2-star cards, and since finding out about wonder picking God Packs, you've spent a bit more to try to chase them down. I know that's true for me, and from what I can tell, that's true for a lot of people. So I think that as it pertains to the wonder picking from God Packs, it's actually helping the developers, and they don't seem to be all that concerned with it, and it's a very, very widespread thing. So I'm not concerned about it at all at this time, and I don't think anyone else should be. And as we already talked about, that warning was leveled at people who are doing much more egregious terms of service violations that are actually costing them a bunch of money and making it outright unfair for other players in very, very significant ways. And the last thing I wanted to cover are just some of the concerns regarding what's going on with my server as it pertains to real money trading, because some people are under the impression that we sell God Packs. So I want to be really, really clear and just put this out there for everyone. No, we don't. We do not offer any services. We do not offer any products. We will not sell you anything, and we do not paywall anything. 100% of the God Packs posted on my Discord are always for 100% of the people on the Discord server, and that will never change. We will always provide all of the God Packs to everyone for free. We are never going to charge you guys for them. Never have, and never will. As for where this confusion stemmed from, we do have a Patreon, and the Patreon does have perks. So I want to clarify what those are. But I want to start by saying the main purpose of the Patreon is for supporting all of the hard work that we do. We've been reconfiguring the server to do all sorts of things. We've been setting up trade sections. I've been hosting giveaways, both for the McDonald's promo codes that get you in-game items, and we're going to be doing giveaways for some of the physical promo cards from the McDonald's event that's going on with Pokemon Pocket right now, and all sorts of stuff. We've really been just continuing to expand. I've also developed an entire reroll academy to help people who want to be hosts of God Packs. And so if you want to support us and thank us for essentially spending every waking minute that we have trying to further enhance the quality of the Discord server, you can do so on Patreon. We have 2 tiers, a $4.99 tier and a $9.99 tier. And again, the main purpose of this is just so that you can show your support for the community, essentially help me keep my lights on as I continue to try to produce stuff for you guys. Now, one of the perks that you get with Patreon, and this is just, we were trying to figure out what's the best way to thank the supporters, we do offer as a courtesy service, again, not a service for sale, just something that we try to do when possible for the people who are already supporting us, is we try to have some of our in-house rerollers. And I also want to note, only myself and a small handful of our own rerollers from the Reroll Academy, no one else. We try to post some of our God Packs in an early access section for the first 24 hours as a way of saying, hey, for you guys that support us, you guys get first dibs at these when it's easier to get in. We essentially are just trying to accommodate for people who are busy, who've shown us support, to allow them to have a little bit of an easier time getting in on the packs, but it's mainly just to save them 5 or 10 minutes of trying to get in, essentially a skip the line pass. But At an absolute maximum, those packs are only ever in early access for a maximum of 24 hours, at which point they are moved to the confirm section where they are always made available to everyone for free for several days. We do not paywall any God packs, and we are never going to. We just wanted to find a good way to thank our supporters with an early access because they are helping tremendously. It is literally allowing me to just worry about Pokemon Pocket stuff without worrying about whether or not I'm going to end up homeless. So for those of you that do support the Patreon, thank you very, very much. It is a huge help. But I did want to clarify because some people have been suggesting that we're selling God packs, and we are absolutely not. If you want to never contribute a dime to any of our causes and you want to wonder pick from 100% of our God packs, you will always be able to. And we're happy to provide that to you guys. And we also don't mind if our packs are getting reposted to other servers, so you are welcome to share them with other people as well. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to clarify that because people seem to think that we have ulterior motives or something like that, when in reality, it's just we're trying to worry about this and only this, and so any support that we get tremendously helps with that. But our goal is never to gatekeep anything from anyone. We want to just provide you guys stuff for free. That really is the goal, so that's what we're going to continue to deliver on. So thank you guys very much for checking out this video. I will see you guys real soon with a video talking about all the cyber attacks that are currently being lodged against the channel. And yeah, peace!